Most of your Upwork proposals are getting ignored in the first 10 seconds. And it's actually not because you're unqualified, but it's because you're failing the first impression test. Clients are scanning your profile, seeing your title, seeing your profile picture, and just immediately disqualifying you. And it's really important to understand. On Upwork, silence means rejection. If you're invisible on Upwork, you're not getting any clients. So if your proposals are getting ignored on Upwork, I know exactly how you feel. I've been there. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to fix that. So not only do you get proposals viewed, but we actually start making some money and landing some clients. And if you don't already know who I am, my name is Ryan, and all I do on this channel is talk about Upwork, how to make money with it, what to do with it, and it's like my entire life at this point. And just so you know, I'm not chatting shit. I made $68,000 last month from my Upwork business, so I'm kind of qualified, I guess, in some way to talk about this. So the first thing, what do we need to do to actually optimize your profile so we stop getting ignored? The first thing that we need to do is to optimize the profile. And more importantly, we need to optimize the profile picture and the title and the first line of your description. But let me explain. By far the most important thing. So when it comes to making your profile picture, all I want you to focus on, a picture that's this chest up, essentially, shoulder width. I want you to have like good posture and smile. Many of you, and I coached hundreds of you guys now over the last few years on Upwork, many of you will have your profile picture and it'll be like this. Smile. People buy from who they like. So don't be afraid to actually show a little bit of personality in your profile picture. And in terms of the background, just try and make it like white or black. White is better. Another thing you can do is on Canva, you can put like a line around your profile picture. This will also help a lot as well because it kind of just makes you stand out. I personally do purple on mine, and I found that it looks a bit like the available now badge. And that was completely by accident, by the way. Got lucky, but a lot of people are copying me now. One thing I wouldn't suggest is what everybody else tries to do, which is they have their profile picture like this, and then in the background, it's like a colored background, like yellow or green or something. It just looks super tacky in my opinion, and it definitely doesn't work in certain niches. For example, in development, it doesn't work. Maybe it works in social media management, maybe it works in copywriting, but I've got hundreds of students essentially, and I've never seen that work, to be honest. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I was talking about is the title and the description and the first line. When it comes to the title and the description, instead of giving you like a kind of framework, I just want you to think of it from this perspective. How can I put across to the client that not only that I'm an expert, but I can do what they actually want me to do? Because if you think about it, clients on Upwork are essentially busy business owners that are hiring to remove some form of stress or remove some form of issue in their business. And if you can take that away, then it's going to make their life way easier. So in my first line, for example, on my profile, I talk about how I will build you an automation that works and runs 24/7. That's what people want in the automation niche. So if you're a social media manager, you should say, I will schedule your posts and make great content for you that lasts forever and that your clients love. Just came up with that off the top of my head. That would maybe be a good title. And I look forward to potentially seeing somebody use that on their profile. And it's the same with the title. You also should talk about how you're an expert. And if, by the way, you are top rated or top rated plus, or even rising talent, put that in the title. It looks good. And top rated plus and things like that, top 1%, top 3%, top 10% freelancer on the platform. People love stuff like that. You can also put in your description and your title that you're the best in a particular location. Like for example, you say like, I'm the #1 UK-based AI automation specialist. That'll also look quite good too. And then the only other thing I would say with the title and the description is just SEO max is what I call it. Make sure to put the keywords that you are interested in and that you're in the niche of in your title and your description, and put them all throughout. If you look at the bottom of my profile, for example, it literally has every single keyword and the same keywords that I have in my skills section. And this is just to rank your profile, because ultimately Upwork is like a search engine, a bit like Google. Now, I know what you're thinking, we were supposed to be talking about proposals, but now we're talking about profile, but it's all mixed together. Just keep that in mind. Having a good proposal is only as good as having a good profile, because as soon as they click on that proposal, let's even say it gets viewed, but then they go to your profile and it's rubbish, it's going to, mess you up. So I think it's important to talk about this first before we talk about your proposal. Now, I've made full videos that are like 30 minutes, an hour long, talking about how to set up your profile in the best way possible. So I won't go too in depth because I want to talk more about proposals, but essentially you've got your profile picture, your title, your description. I would urge you to focus on branding your video introduction and your portfolio section. And throughout those as well, especially in the portfolio section, keyword rank for all the different skills, and just show your work and show that you're actually good at what you say you can do, and actually show real client results. If you can get video testimonials of your clients in there, do it. It will make a big difference. But just keep it branded. A good example is my student Harrison's, which I'll put on the screen somewhere. Check this out. Like, he's got a great portfolio section. I even kind of copied him a little bit. Now, when it comes to sending proposals specifically, now that we've got the profile out of the way, one thing that I would would say is that you need to understand that it's all about personalization. The easiest way to understand this concept is just to go and put out a fake job on Upwork and just see the quality of the messages that you get. I can almost guarantee this will do two things for you. Number one, it will make you extremely confident because you'll realize you're actually not in competition with anybody that's actually decent. And on top of that, you'll realize that most of the proposals that people are sending, ChatGPT messages, they're either using automation tools like GigRadar, Volna, and these other tools to automate the process of sending proposals. And what you don't understand is that that works for some businesses that are already really established on Upwork. As a beginner or a mid-level freelancer, that shit don't work and it looks really bad. And I hire a lot of people on Upwork. I've spent over $70,000 on Upwork hiring. And I can tell you, like, if I see a ChatGPT message, I scroll on by and I click that shortlist button and you only get a couple seconds that looks good. So the way to stand out is personalization. And one of the things you can do is to send a Loom video. I've made a full video on actually how to do this and how to structure your Loom videos. Sending a Loom video is very personalized because it can't be fake. If I click on that and you're going over my job post, I'm going to be impressed, especially if you show your face. Before you say it in the comment section, I don't want to show my face. I don't want to do a Loom video. Trust me, I'm telling you, whenever I see a message like that, if I ask for a Loom specifically in the job post and they say, I'm not comfortable with that, but then I'm like, well, I'm not comfortable hiring you. You got to get past that a little bit. Don't overthink this. Now, strategically, obviously you're going to send a Loom, but what do you actually say in the Loom? Now, again, I've made a whole video on this, but essentially all that you're going to do is say, hey, I love the job post. I can do it. Here's some examples of previous work that I've done. Shoot me a message and I will even send you a link to book in a call once you've messaged me back. However, if they don't have context, you should say something like, hey, I noticed that there's not a lot of context on this job. Would you mind providing me a little bit more information? And then I can provide you a full audit, or SOW if you're in the automation niche. You can also say, I just wanted to send you a video to show you that I'm a real person and not a ChatGPT message. And yeah, speak soon. That will work really well. And by the way, that's what I do all day in, day out, is I send that similar message just saying, hey, I can do the work and that I wanted to send you a Loom to kind of stand out and, you know, show that I'm not a ChatGPT message. Because I'm telling you, like I said, if you put a fake job out on Upwork, you will see what I mean. It's like zombies. There's so many messages from people just sending ChatGPT messages. Sometimes you even see like very similar messages that have just been AI generated. So please don't do that. Another thing you can do is obviously attaching your profile highlights. What this is you can essentially reference your portfolio section, which you've just branded, obviously, if you've been watching this video, or you can reference a previous 5-star review. For me personally, you can have 4 total. I just do all of them 5-star reviews. And I try to link the best ones or the ones that are the most relevant to the job. So if I'm applying to a job and it's like, build this, you know, chatbot RAG agent, I'm going to put a 5-star review that's relevant to that job if possible. But obviously, if you don't have that, then just put all of the 5-star reviews. It's not like the client really sees it that easily, but if they do click on your profile and they do see that you've applied and they see those highlights, it can make a big difference. And again, I say this as somebody that hires a lot on Upwork, so just trust me on this. Another thing you should do as well, if it's a fixed price job, is don't bid too high and don't bid too low. I personally like to do something where, and I might be giving away too much sauce here because I don't want people to copy this, but I'm just going to give it away because I tried to give everything away on this YouTube channel. If somebody's saying, for example, their fixed price is $1,000, what I'll do is I'll put $997 because it's enough that it's high, but it's enough that they can see that I'm like bringing the price down. Or sometimes what I used to do was I would put like a ridiculous number. So let's say, for example, the fixed price job is $5,000. I would say $50 just so that they click on it. Like just so that they click on it, just so that I actually, maybe they message me. Like I'm just trying to stand out here. Like again, the biggest, most negative thing about Upwork is that if somebody doesn't want to work with you, they're not going to message you and tell you. They're just going to completely ignore you. And the silence is essentially the death in Upwork. So at the very least, all I want to do is just get them to message me back. That's all I care about. Now, ultimately, we're obviously talking about proposals here. If you have a really good profile, I would actually urge you to try out boosting as well. Boosting actually is really good. And it's my main strategy. I actually right now for the last 90 days haven't ever sent a proposal for the last 90 days because I just get so much return on the boosting that I do. But this doesn't work for everybody. This is not financial advice. It's kind of like paid ads essentially on Upwork, but it does work really, really well for me. And I've spoken to people that make $100,000 a month on Upwork in different niches. And for them, it doesn't work. And for some of them, it works. And some of them are in the same position I am. Some of them aren't. So just keep that in mind. But boosting also works really well. And hopefully, if you've made it to the end of this video, you will have improved your profile a little bit. You will have started sending personalization, which is the main thing, by the way, guys. Like like just personalize your proposals. If you do all these things, hopefully you're not going to be getting aired and ignored so much when it comes to your proposals. If you want me to work with you one-on-one, write your proposal strategy for you, literally build your profile for you, click the link below. I would love to work with you in one of my one-to-one mentorships. And I only work with a few people every single month, so it's a little bit picky. I'm telling you, if you do that, I think you'll get some great results. But ultimately, I put out so much free content on YouTube to actually help you guys that you can figure this out on your own. You don't need me. But if you want to do it quicker, then, message me. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. We just hit over 7,000 subscribers, and maybe by the time you're watching this, maybe 8,000, 10,000, who knows? We have one of the biggest Upwork channels, and I'm so passionate about helping you guys, and see you guys in the next video.